Hi, welcome to NicheCraft. Today I am going to teach you how to do the blanket part of the Shaded Shells throw. So this Shaded Shells throw is a pattern from Yarnspirations that I have linked in my description. If you want to go ahead and find the pattern yourself, you can click on that link. It'll take you to a page and it'll have a download. Click on the download and it will download into wherever your download folder is on your computer. When you open that up and you open up the pattern, what you can do then is either print the pattern or just follow along in the pattern along with me if you want to learn how to make this throw by the pattern alone. Otherwise, you don't have to use the pattern with this. I'm just going to be walking you through this as well, okay? So if you want to make this and you don't really care about learning how to read the pattern, you're in the right place. Also, this pattern is an easy level pattern, which means that it should be comfortable for those of you who are beginners or have been crocheting just for a little while. And those of you who are advanced, you should be able to do this with a breeze. So I just wanted to tell you everything you're going to need in order to make this throw. So if you want to make the exact same throw as you see in this picture, you're going to need 4 skeins of Red Heart Super Saver Ombre. Okay? Now, for this throw, the one in the picture on my video, this is using Cocoa, which is a brown ombre, okay? But for my tutorial, I'm going to be using the Spearmint colorway here, and that is the name of it here. I believe that I got this at my local Walmart, and as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, and here is that 4th skein of Red Heart Super Saver Ombre in Spearmint. So the other thing you're going to need to make this particular throw is a H hook. Okay, so I prefer these hooks that have this rubber grip on them, and here is my H hook. It's a 5mm hook, okay, and I'm just using the one that I like, okay. On the pattern it says to use a Susan Bates crochet hook, but that's probably just something that they're pushing because they have some kind of agreement with the Susan Bates brand. So you can use any crochet hook as long as it is 5mm. Now, we have talked before on this channel about how to alter patterns, and I'm going to be talking about that here with this particular pattern. So instead of using the H hook, I personally am going to be using an I hook, which is a 5.5mm crochet hook, okay? And the reason I'm using the I hook is because the dimensions, and if you look on the pattern, you'll see that the dimensions say that the throw measures about 45 by 58 inches, okay, when it's done. I'd like my throw to be a little bit bigger than that, so what I'm doing is I am adding on a 0.5mm by using this I hook instead, and hopefully that will add a few inches to my width. And then my length should also be longer than 58 inches, hopefully. So when I get to the end of the pattern and talk about the repeat, then I'll also tell you how you can alter the lengths as well that way if you want to make something longer. Another thing that I would recommend that you have are some scissors. I don't think you're going to need stitch markers for this pattern, but if you want to get stitch markers because you want to measure out something, go ahead and get those as well. But again, I don't think that you're going to be needing them. The last thing that you're going to need to do before you make this throw is you're going to have to locate the center pull in your yarn, okay? So the center pull here is already exposed, and you'll find that with most of these, the center pull will already be exposed when you purchase your yarn. If it's not though, now I see this, okay, I know where it is, but if it's not, you can just kind of open it up in here, and you should be able to see, as you open it up like that, you should be able to see where the center pull is, okay? So that's how you find the center pull. Now that you have everything that you need, we can start on the pattern. So looking at the pattern, the first instruction is to chain 188. Okay, so in order to do that, you're going to take this tail, you're going to make it into a slip knot. Alright, use whatever method that you've used for making a slip knot and put it on your hook. Next, you're going to chain, and that's 1. Okay, you're going to chain 2, 3, 4, okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm stopping at 10 because that's a good amount to remember. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of the 178 off camera, but what you're going to do is you're going to continue chaining until you get 188. Okay, so row 1, work 2 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. 3 skip chain counts as the first double crochet. Skip next 3 chain, single crochet in the next chain, skip next 3 chain, 5 double crochet in the next chain, repeat to the last 8 chains. Okay, so and then they have more, and that is skip next 3 chain, single crochet in the next chain, skip next 3 chain, 3 double crochet in the last chain, and then what they have there is 22 5 double crochet groups, 23 single crochets, and a 3 double crochet group at the beginning and end of the row. Alright, so let me go ahead and translate that for you, for those of you who find that those instructions a little bit difficult to understand. So here is my chain right here, okay, and the yarn split a little bit, which I thought was unfortunate right here, because this is going to be because this is actually kind of an important one, but whatever. So when you count chains from the hook, you never count the chain that's on the hook. You don't count 1, 2. That's not how you do it. You count the first one, like 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what they are saying is to work 2 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. So what we do is we find the 4th chain. 1, 2, 3. Then right here, this is where we're going to work our double crochet. So you're going to yarn over as if you're going to make a double crochet, going to put that hook in that 4th chain, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and pull through 2 again. That's a double crochet. And then you're going to do that again. We're going in the same chain, and we're going to pull up a loop and pull up a loop again. So what they're saying is that now we have the equivalent of 3 double crochets. Alright, because this chain right here that we skipped, this is the equivalent of 1 double crochet. Then we have 2 actual double crochets in this chain 4 space. Alright, so we're going to move on to the next part of the pattern, and when you see a little asterisk like this, okay, that means that that's when you're going to repeat that pattern. Okay, so there's row repeats and there's pattern repeats. The pattern that gets repeated is everything in between this asterisk to this asterisk. Okay, so basically what we do now is that we are going to skip the next 3 chains and single crochet into the next chain. So we've got 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip those. Skip, skip, skip. And in this one right here, okay, sorry, I'm kind of holding this a little bit wonky. Okay, so in the 4th chain, so skip, 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 this 4th chain, that is where we're going to make that single crochet. Alright, so you pull up a loop and then you pull through both of them. Okay, so that is our first single crochet after making this 3 double crochet at the very beginning. Okay, now we're going to skip the next 3 chains, skip, 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 and in that 4th chain again, we're going to make a double crochet 5 times. okay, because it says 5 double crochet in the next chain. So here we go. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and pull through 2 again. So there's 1 double crochet right there. Okay, now we're going to yarn over, go into the same space, and put a second double crochet. We're going to yarn over, go into that space, and here is our third double crochet. And then we're going to do that 2 more times. And this is going to be the shell that they're referring to in the shaded shells. Okay, so once you have all of those 5 double crochets in there, you might want to count them to make sure that they are 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is what you're going to repeat. Okay, so the repeat is 2, skip the next 3, single crochet, skip the next 3, and do the 5 double crochet or the shell. Okay, and you're going to just keep doing that over and over, but I'm going to be doing it with you, so let's go ahead and keep reading the pattern. So it says 5 double crochet in the next chain, and then it says repeat from asterisk to last 8 chain. So basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be continuing to repeat this. Where the asterisk begins is skip next 3, single crochet in the next chain, skip next 3, 5 double crochet in the next chain. Okay, so basically all you really need to know is that we're going to skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and we are going to single crochet in that 4th chain. Alright, so here is that single crochet. So now that shell is spread out, okay, and that's how we get the shell to look like a shell, because if it was just all together it wouldn't look that good, but these single crochets kind of anchor down that shell. Okay, and then the next instruction is to skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we put 5 double crochets in that next chain after you skip 3. So again, here we go, we're going to put 5, here's the first one, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next we skip 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then we put a single crochet in the next. Right. We're just going to continue to repeat that, okay? So let me kind of zoom out here just a little bit so you can see me a little work at my own pace, which, you know, when you're working into this beginning chain, it's going to be a little bit awkward because you don't have a whole lot to hold on to, but at my usual pace would be 1, 2, 3, and then put the 5 double crochets in. And then I'm going to skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put in a single crochet right here. So now I'm going to keep doing that over and over and over until, just like it says here, it says to the last 8 chains. Okay, so I know that I need 8 chains at the end to finish off. Okay, so I'm going to keep repeating this stitch repeat of single crochet, skip 3 chains, 5 double crochets, skip 3 chains, single crochet, and I'm going to do that on and on until I get to the last 8 chains, okay? And when I get there, then I will come back and show you what to do next. Now the last thing that you're going to do is 5 double crochet in the next chain, okay? That's where you're going to end. And then when you have 8 chains left, then that's how we finish this off in the special way they have us to finish off this particular row. Here I am at the end. I've just finished my last 5 double crochet group, and I have 8 stitches remaining. According to the pattern, what I need to do next is that I need to skip the next 3 chains and single crochet into the next. Okay, that's familiar. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to place a single crochet right here. Right. And last, it says to skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and put 3 double crochets into this last chain. So I'm going to skip and find that last chain, and here's 1 double crochet, and here's 2 double crochets, and here is my 3rd double crochet. So I am now done with row 1 of the shaded shells throw. So it says that when you're done, you should be able to count 22 5 double crochet groups, 23 single crochets, and 3 double crochet group at the beginning and the end. So I'm going to count my 5 double crochet groups here for you so I can just demonstrate that I'm following all of the instructions. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Alright, and we have a 3 double crochet group here at the end, and we have a 3 double crochet group at the beginning. And remember, we skipped 3 chains, and then we went into the 4th chain from the hook, and we put 2 double crochets in there. So that's the equivalent of 3. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and trust that my single crochets are the same. Okay, so before we begin row 2, I want to read to you what the instructions are so that you can kind of follow along with me. So for row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to single crochet in the first double crochet, chain 3, and then we're going to decrease. That's what DEC means. And how do I know that? It's because this right here is a special stitch just to this pattern. So this is that special abbreviation, is DEC, which is decrease. And it gives you the instructions on what that decrease means, which is yarn over and draw up a loop in the next stitch, yarn over and draw through 2 loops on hook, and you do that 5 times, and then you draw through all 6 loops on the hook. So we'll do that when we get there, okay? But first we're going to then chain 3, single crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, decrease, and then we're going to repeat that over and over again until we get to the end. Now that we've gone through the pattern, we are going to start row 2, and we're going to start that by chaining 1 and turning. Okay, and then we're going to put a single crochet in that first double crochet just right on top of it. Okay, so this next part is the decrease, and it might seem a little bit weird at first, but there's a few things that I want you to keep in mind when you're doing this. This is going to be like doing a double crochet across all of these, except you don't finish the double crochet. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is as you do this repeat of this stitch, you will always be putting a single crochet at the top of the shell that we made before. So if you look at this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So that 3rd space right here is in the very middle, and it's at the apex right there of that shell. We're always going to be putting a single crochet in that apex, okay? So now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Next, we're going to yarn over and act like we're doing a double crochet into the next. We're going to pull through 2, but instead of finishing that double crochet off, we're just going to keep those 2 on our hook. Okay? Now we're going to yarn over, and we're going to do the same thing in the next stitch. Okay, pull through 2, and make sure This is the second thing I want you to keep in mind. Make sure that these are all pulled up, okay, so that it is at the same level as that single crochet that you made, okay, because we're going to need these to be a little bit looser than if you were to be making double crochets. All right, now we're going to do this again, pulling that loop up so it's level with the other ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doing it again. Okay, we have 5. And then we're going to do it one more time. Okay, so now we have 6, and they're all relatively the same height. Okay, now we're going to do what they say is yarn over and draw through all 6 loops on the hook. So what we're doing is we're going to just kind of hook our crochet hook onto this, and we're going to turn our crochet hook down because we don't want to have it up and then like get snagged on all of these loops. We're going to turn it down as we do this, and we're going to just pull that all the way through, and now we have what looks like kind of like a reverse shell in between that beginning and the next shell, right? Next, according to the pattern, the next thing that we do is that we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we are going to single crochet into that next double crochet right there, which is going to be, again, at the top of this 5 double crochet shell. Okay, now we're going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do that decrease pattern again. We're going into there and we're going to pull up a loop, pull through 2, but then just leave it. That's the second one. There's the third one. Again, we're trying to keep that level. Here's the fourth one. And then the fifth one is the one we do where we have all 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we pull that loop all the way through those 6. Then we finish it by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we find that very next stitch, which is right here, the very top of that shell from before, and we put in a single crochet. Alright, so in between our single crochets and our decreases, we're always going to have these chain 3s, okay? And that is what allows this to be straight, okay? Otherwise, it's going to just be, otherwise it would start curling up and it would become a lot smaller. This maintains our stitch count, okay, here on top. So that's what those chains are for. So, continuing on, we're going to continue to do that same repeat over and over again until we come to the end, okay? So, I've just made my single crochet. I'm going to chain 3. And now I'm going to do that decrease by pretending like I'm going to be doing these double crochets, but I'm not going to finish them. Again, making sure those loops are up so that they will be level with one another. Okay, now I have 6. Gonna pull through all 6. Okay, once we get there, we're gonna chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we are going to put that single crochet right here at the very top. Alright, so we're going to continue doing that all the way to the end So I'm going to be doing that myself, and I will see you when I get there. Alright guys, so I have gotten to almost the end of row 2, and now it's time for me to chain 3, and then I'm going to place a single crochet at the very top of that last chain 3 space. So as you can see, I'm showing you where the chain 3 space is, and I'm going to find the very top of the chain 3 space, and that right there is where I'm going to be putting that single crochet. Alright? So I'm going to put my hook under there, pull up 1, pull through 2, and now I am done with row 2. So if you look at the pattern now, you can see that you can check your work by counting all of these decrease shells. These are the ones that look upside down. So if you count those, you should have 23 of those decrease shells. And you can just count them on and on the way we did before and make sure that you have all of them. Now you can also double check by counting your single crochets, and you should have 24 of these single crochet places right there. Next, you should be able to also count your chain 3 spaces, and the total chain 3 spaces that you should have are 46 chain 3 spaces. And I'm demonstrating right here where you can see those. Alright, so you will notice that row 3 is going to be extremely similar to row 1. And row 3 begins as a chain 3. So first you're going to chain 3 and you're going to turn your work. Next, just like we did on row 1, we're going to put 2 double crochets at the base there of that chain 3 space in that single crochet we just placed. So here's 1 double crochet, pull through 2, and then pull through 2 again, and now we're going to yarn over and put a second double crochet in that same space. So now as I'm laying it down, you can see that the chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and then the 2 double crochets that we placed counts as a 3 double crochet altogether, because that's the equivalent, just like before. So now that we have made the equivalent of 3 double crochets, you can notice the only 2 places where you can go in and place your stitches is going to be right here at the very top of this decrease or our upside down shell, and you can see that right there at the top, and in that single crochet that we placed. So we're basically going to be ignoring the chains that we made from the row 2. So looking at the pattern, our next step is going to be to skip the next chain 3 space and to single crochet at the very top of that decrease from the row before. And I'm going to place that single crochet right here. Next, remember how on row 1 we made the fans and we put 5 double crochets into 1 chain? Well, that's how we're going to be doing the same thing this time around. We go to that single crochet right there after skipping 3 chains, and that's where we're going to put all 5 of our double crochets to make the fan. So you go into that single crochet, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2 again. Now you're going to place a second one. Here is the 3rd double crochet, pull through 2 and pull through 2 again, the 4th double crochet, and the very last double crochet in the same space. So now we've made that fan, and we're going to place our single crochet at the very top of that decrease again. And that decrease is the upside down fan that we made from the row before. So we're going to continue to make these fans right here in the single crochet after skipping 3, and we're going to anchor it down by placing a single crochet at the top of the decrease. I'm going to show you again exactly how we do this row. So now we're going to place 5 double crochets right here to make that fan. Here's the third one, 4, and 5. Then we skip 3, and then we place that single crochet there at the very top of that decrease. Now that fan or shell is anchored down. We're going to do it again, skip the 3, and we go to that single crochet spot, and that's where we put our 5 double crochets. So from here, we're going to repeat till I get to the very end of row 3. Alright guys, so I just put my last single crochet right here, and I have this chain space and then the very end, right? And this is how we're going to finish row 3, okay? So I just wanted to show you. So just like we do before, we're skipping this 3 chain, okay? And then we're going to put 3 double crochets into the top of this single crochet, okay? Instead of 5, because we just need 3 double crochets to make a half of one of these shells just to finish it off. Okay, so putting it underneath that last single crochet right there, there's 1, 2, and 3. Alright, and now we are done with row 3. So here's the deal. For rows 4 through 110, we are going to repeat rows 2 and 3, ending on a row 2. And that will make the exact blanket that you're seeing in the picture on the Shaded Shells throw. If you do not want to follow the pattern exactly and you just want to make it until it's as long as you want, that's totally fine too. Just make sure that when you end on a row 2, and that's the one where we've got the chain 3s across, okay? And when you do that, that way it'll have a flat surface where you can put a border around it. So let me zoom out a little bit here so you can see. If you end on a row 3, then like this, you'll see this kind of a shell surface instead of that flat surface that we create with those when we put those decreases here and then we chain 3, and it maintains the stitch count. So now we are done with the throw part of the Shaded Shells throw. You can work your own border, or if you want to know how to make the border in the pattern, when I finish mine and it's the length that I want, I will come back and do the border as well, and that will be linked in the description of this video. So if it's not linked there, then just know that I'm working on mine and it will be linked when I'm done. I hope you guys enjoyed this stitch tutorial, and I hope that you found it clear and easy to follow. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't, I would still appreciate the thumbs up, but for you to leave a comment and let me know what wasn't clear for you. Because my goal in doing these stitch tutorials is to make sure that everything's clear and you know exactly how to make these patterns, okay? So let me know what you thought about this video. If you like stitch tutorials and you'd like to learn how to follow patterns and learn how to make different kinds of things, then you might want to go ahead and subscribe. I also have a lot of stuff on my channel that doesn't have to do with just tutorials. I have Mystery Box Mondays where I unpack a mystery box of yarn. I also have Wellness Wednesdays, which I try to do every Wednesday, but sometimes it has to be every other Wednesday. And I have yarn dyeing videos, which is something that I'm really into right now. And all sorts of other things in between. So I'm sure you can find some yarny content on this channel that will be something you'll be interested in. That said, thank you for watching to the end, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye for now.